Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video, again with Impact Wrestling. You join us for our go home show, our final booking of this block taping before we get to the World Cup pay-per-view at the end of the month. We won't really confirm every match we're going to have for the pay-per-view because, as you can imagine, a lot of things can happen within the 3 to 4 weeks. So we'll probably have away 4 or 5 matches and then I'll try and work my magic to bring in a really good card and at the same time hopefully not lose anyone to any of the bigger companies. So we'll have our final quarter-final matches tonight. We'll have that X Division Championship match. Let's crack on. This is this week's Impact Wrestling. So as you can see, our taping got a fantastic attendance of 445 fans. I think I'd rather wait till we go at least 4 figures in attendance before we go to live shows every week. I wanted to start the show with a contract signing because I don't want either of these two in action, but I want that match to be signed, sealed and delivered. And I felt like the added boost of the matchmaker Kurt Angle would have hopefully have gave it a good rating, so we could just worry about our main event match. So this 56 there is pretty pleasing. So basically we have them have the contract signing, and for once I actually let something go down, so they both jot their names down, both sign it. Moose tries to put Rich Swann through the table, but the attack is reversed and Rich Swann swings at Moose, clobbers him. Moose kind of just is taken aback by this and he falls to the outside and backs away, but we can book that one. This is in Impact Wrestling World Championship, Rich Swann versus Moose, and we'll see that at the Tag Team World Cup. 56, Kurt Angle looks good. The segment deserved better announcing. Kurt Angle then makes a statement as well. It's not him that's signed a contract with Impact, but he confirms about the written contract that we spoke about in the last episode. He has been signed, sealed and delivered, and that superstar will make their debut at the World Cup pay-per-view. So that's a 6-day-1. That's also a good cheap way to get our best segment. Honestly wasn't the plan when we signed Kurt Angle. Decent matchup. Joe Doring defeats James Storm in 701 with the Revolution Bomb. A 46 here. This one was more a case of, well, James Storm is retiring, let's try and get some of the overness off of him and onto the dominant Joe Doring. Eric Young does some good work at ringside. They only make it to the top of the ramp, but Enzo and Kaz say they are obviously frustrated at the continual attacks from Eric Young and Joe Doring. They'll let them have their day-to-day, but they have had it confirmed at the World Cup. Even though they're no longer in the competition, we will see a tag team match between Enzo and Big Kaz and Eric Young and Joe Doring, and we'll see who truly is soft, S-O-F-T. We had some 8-woman action in the Knockouts division, and it was about, they had a decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling as Jordan Grace, Jessica Havoc and Team C-Stars defeated Deonna Purrazzo, Kimber Lee, Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan in 9/11 when Jordan Grace got a win over the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo with a fall from Grace. A 43 is a very respectable rating here. I'm really delighted with Deonna getting out and getting a 52, so that's really promising for her. And a few negatives here with Kiera Hogan off her game, and of course Havoc's injury that will cost her a little bit. But Grace gets the victory over the Knockouts champion, which of course means that we will see the World Cup Jordan Grace challenge Deonna Purrazzo for the Knockouts Championship, and that's it confirmed there in that little hype graphic. It's a 35. We then had EC3 return and he got a win over Hernandez in 10:23 with the Sweet Meat Sizzler. This was a 48. He's not really been seen on television since the pay-per-view, but I felt like we've given him a victory here. Gives him some momentum, and we'll see if anything picks up for him, a potential opponent at the World Cup. Obviously that new superstar is one of the potential opponents, but we'll see how we can slot EC3 into the card. And he cuts a promo just saying, I have an idea of where I want to be, I'm controlling my narrative, this part of the narrative I want unpredictability, I want an opponent at the event, who's it going to be? So that's opening it up, so I can maybe have him, I could maybe have Phoenix. I just want to see what's the best fit and what I feel coming out of it I can make a good programme from, because I don't feel he should be in the title picture after having his title shot. But at 53, regardless, With about that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling, as Suicide defeated Rohit Raju in 6:41 by pinfall. Only a 32. Obviously we need to give Suicide as many wins as possible. This is going to be a personal task to get someone with literally no overness to as close to the main event scene as we can. But an 18 and off their game is not a good start, but the victory will hopefully give them some momentum. In the quarterfinals we had our tag team tournament, and it was a good matchup. The Good Brothers with the win over Ace Austin and Madman Fulton in 14:07, when Madman Fulton get pinned by Carl Anderson after a magic killer. Fulton was the weak link here. Ace Austin with a stellar performance again, but the Good Brothers advanced to the semi-final with a 55 rated match. And in the other quarter-final we had about a good heat and decent wrestling, and it was the Inflictors of Pain, Dinza and Slamani, who defeated Evil Uno and Stu Grayson in 11:43 when Dinza pinned Stu Grayson with the last chapter. Simple, effective victory. They're our stars, they're AEW stars, so obviously going to push the Inflictors of Pain, but very good. 53 rated matchup, despite Slamani being off his game. We then had a backstage segment where we had the North attack the Good Brothers. That should have been backstage, or maybe even one slot up, but anyway, it's just those two teams going at it. Two of the four teams in the semi-finals, and actually I believe it is going to be Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers versus the North, with the other one being the Inflictors of Pain and FTR. So if you used to work in WWE, you know you're doing well in this tournament, apart from these two. A 49 segment. And the main event matchup was for the X Division Championship, and it was a good matchup. Leo Rush obviously gets the win over Will Ospreay, because Leo's our contracted superstar, in 13:36 by pinfall with the Dragon's Call. For defence of the X Division Championship, a 56. Obviously Ospreay was getting far higher ratings down the line once he gets the overness, but in this not over as much, so he was quite happy to put Leo Rush over and put our X Division back on the map. In the show, they shake hands, sign of respect, and yeah, 32 of those two. Probably should have been the other way around, but it just shows the lack of overness that they probably have at the moment, because we only gathered a 52 rating. 32 rating, sorry. Overall, a 55, because your best promo was a 61, your main event was a 56, so that's not too bad, because other angles were a bit iffy. But the show increased their popularity in 34 regions. What I will say is, there might be an X Division title match at the event, and that's really just a case of seeing what becomes available, because there could be some people released from WWE, released from AEW, and of course we need to see our own financial situation if we can justify bringing these talents in and affording them, because the deal we have done is quite an expensive one, but as someone I feel can take this company to good lengths. As I say, it won't be as many ridiculous signings as you quite get in the AEW save. So we'll see if we get there. Perfect. Where do we start? Dax Harwood, oh yeah, that's right, so he will be injured for the tournament, but he will be able to work through it, so that's fine, although a botch move from Enzo is not ideal. And we have Jessica Havoc just extending that extension, good stuff. What have we got then? So just Ospreay's long period done, and the Dax Harwood injury, but overall, you can see the financial situation. Yeah, we kind of need to be making that money back up. And yeah, it's iffy. You don't want to get into debt, you don't want to ruin the save, but we have to be brave, and we obviously have to try and hope over time. We started at 38, or now at 40, that 45 was a 44, so again we have to look at stuff like the exposure, which is one thing I wanted to check in a previous episode, and we are on Access TV for 1 year and 8 months. We are on here for a long time. So I think once we get to a good position, I might review the TV deals just to see if I can get us a wee bit bigger. In fact, let's have a wee look. So obviously very small. We obviously need to try and cancel this deal. Well, best we can get small, so I'd like to maybe work with what we've got just now in Destination America. There's nothing there that I would jump to rather than what we're on at the moment. So we'll leave it there. As I say, I'm going to go ahead and play the 3 weeks to the pay-per-view and hope for no injuries and see what we can do. What we join us for, as I say, they get the 2 semi-finals and the final match-up. You've got the Impact Championship on the line, you've got the Knockouts Championship on the line, and we'll probably look to have some match-up. If we can keep Darby Allin available, we'll see Darby Allin and Sami Callihan against Ken Shamrock and Pentagon Jr. So cheers for watching. Sorry it's an unpredictable card, but that's the nature of the beast. And until next time, good day and good night, and I shall see you later. Bye bye.